6 people are presumed dead after a ship hit the landmark Francis Scott Key Bridge in the U.S. city of Baltimore. The Coast Guard said it had suspended its search and begun a recovery effort. Several vehicles were crossing the bridge, which is more than 2.6 kilometers, 1.6 miles long, when it collapsed after the container ship collided with one of its supports. Officials said the ship suffered a power issue and issued a distress call moments before the crash. Boats and helicopters were part of a huge search and rescue effort searching for the 6 missing people. 2 others were pulled from the water, with one in a serious condition. Rear Admiral Shannon Gilreath of the U.S. Coast Guard said in the evening that the remaining missing men are presumed dead based on the temperature of the waters they had fallen in and the length of time they have been underwater. Authorities said they were part of a construction crew repairing potholes at the time the bridge snapped. The Singapore-flagged container ship, Dolly, struck a support column on the 47-year-old bridge at 1:30 local time, 5:30 GMT, causing it to collapse. It had departed from the terminal at Port Breeze at around 0:45 bound for the Sri Lankan capital, Colombo. A U.S. federal government agency said the vessel lost propulsion as it was leaving the port. The crew then warned Maryland transport officials of a possible collision, according to an unclassified Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency report on the incident. Maryland State Governor Wes Moore said he could confirm that the crew notified authorities of a power issue, adding that the ship lost power before smashing into one of the columns supporting the bridge. A number of vehicles, including one the size of a tractor trailer, plunged into the water below, officials said. A major rescue operation is being led by Baltimore Fire Department, the U.S. Coast Guard, and other agencies from the state of Maryland. Baltimore Fire Chief James Wallace confirmed that 2 people were rescued, and one of them had been transported to a local trauma center in a very serious condition. Mr. Wallace said the tide was posing a challenge to rescue efforts. Local officials said another huge concern for rescue teams was the freezing conditions, with air temperatures of about 3°C, 37.4 F, near the bridge. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott described the incident as an unthinkable tragedy, adding the focus right now should be on the people, the lives, the souls. There are people in the water that we have to get out, and that's the only thing we should be talking about. Maryland Transportation Secretary Paul Wiedefeld said engineers were at the site determining the structural impact of the collapse. Shipping company Synergy Marine Group told the BBC the ship had an all-Indian crew with 22 people on board. It said in a statement that all crew members, including 2 harbor pilots, had been accounted for, and there were no reports of any injuries. The exact cause of the incident is yet to be determined, and the ship owner was fully cooperating with federal agencies, the statement added. Shipping giant Maersk said it had chartered the vessel and was carrying its customers' cargo. "We are horrified by what has happened in Baltimore, and our thoughts are with all of those affected," it said in a statement. No Maersk crew and personnel were on board the vessel. U.S. President Joe Biden said he would travel to Baltimore as soon as possible, and that search and rescue efforts should be prioritized. "I've directed my team to move heaven and earth to reopen the port and rebuild the bridge as soon as humanly possible," he said. He said the collapse was an accident, and that federal government would pay for the entire cost of that bridge. The spending, he added, would need to be approved by members of Congress. Kindly like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments section.